The Weekend Whip is an iconic part of the Ninjago seasons up till Dragon's Rising, and we have gotten so many versions of it, and in this video, I'm gonna rank them all, so stick around until the end to see my ranking. Just a warning, I am no musical expert, so this is just based off of my opinion. Anyway, let's get started. Starting off, we have the original Weekend Whip, and this one is going straight into S tier. This is pretty much a perfect song, at least as an opening for Ninjago. It's very energetic, it captures the vibes of the earlier seasons. The chorus is obviously legendary, the jump up, kick back, whip around, and spin part, and the overall tune is just really catchy. This is one of my favorite songs of all time. Next up, down here, we have the Rebooted Whip, and this one I just personally don't like as much. I think that the intro is pretty sick with the whole digital music. In fact, the digital theme is just really cool and it plays in the background of the whole song, but as soon as they get into like the chorus and the lyrics, I just kind of lose interest. Don't get me wrong, I think it's a very decent whip, but I just think that if they had kept this as background music without the lyrics, it would have just been so much better. So overall, I'm probably going to put this B tier for now, though I might move it into like a low A tier as we rank more of them. But anyway, next up down here we have the Tournament of Elements whip. I forget what the original name for this one is. I think it's like the Anaconda whip or something. Anyway, this one's another okay one. I think this one is like slightly worse than the Rebooted whip, because I just love the digital theme from that whip. But trying to remember, this one is the one with like a lot of drums and stuff, right? So yeah, I think this one is definitely good. It's just nothing too spectacular. I think it fits the vibe of the season well with the Anaconda cultist, but it isn't as memorable as some of the other whips that we're gonna see down here. Anyway, speaking of memorable whips, we have the Ghost Whip, and this one is going straight into S tier. This is a perfect example of like keeping the vibe of the season and still being like a great song. I love how they slowed down the lyrics and the music to give it the ghostly feel, plus the whistles going on in the background. Like, it's just amazing. The real question is this better than the OG? And I don't think it is, but it's definitely like one of the best whips we've ever gotten. I just love the whole spooky aspect of it, and I don't know, I could speak about this whip all day. I think it's just perfect. Anyway, moving on now, we have the Pirate Whip, and I think this one's a pretty decent one, actually. I'm gonna put it in A tier. I love all of, like, the pirate themed music. Like, the soundtrack from this season is pretty great, and the whip also has a pretty great intro, which I think is guitar, but I might be wrong. This song has a piratey, ragtag, adventurous feel, and the music is pretty good all around, which is why I think it's pretty deserving of A tier. Going down here, we have the Rift Whip from Day of the Departed. And I actually love this one so much. I don't think it's really S tier, but I think it's definitely above Skybound. This is the one whip which I feel like deviates most from the original whip so far, and I think they pulled it off well. The main thing that sells me with this whip is just the chorus. It's different, but I think it's very melodious, and it also retains like the energetic feel from the original whip. So definitely a very good whip all around. Going down here, we have the temporal whip from season 7, and this one is pretty decent. I think this one is worse than the season 4 one, but it's still not terrible, so I think I'll put it in B tier. My problem is that I just think it's very bland. Yes, it has the aspects of like the time with the clock ticking and all that stuff, but other than that, it just isn't as appealing to me. I don't know, I like the little bit of this that they clipped for like the intro, but just listening to the whole song, it's not all that great, especially compared to like some of these up here. But I think this one is alright. Moving on down here, we have the Wicked Whip from season 11, and I think this one's pretty good actually. It's energetic, yet I think it manages to be different from the other whips that we've seen. The lyrics are different this time around as well, and I think they integrate into the new whip pretty well. I think the main verses in this song were well done and raised my ranking of this song a little bit, so I think I'm just gonna put this top of B, but it could be bottom of A. Though I think I'm gonna leave it at top of B for now. Moving on to the last 5 whips for today, we have the Miracle Whip, and this one's basically just the Wicked Whip. For those of you that don't know, this was like a scrapped version of the song that later became the Wicked Whip, so it has a lot of similarities, but I think it's slightly worse, so I'm just gonna put it, I think, here for now. Then the Prime Empire Whip is next. This one is pretty nice. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna put it at the bottom of A tier. This one also has a sick intro with the digital sounding music, but I think this one is better than the Rebooted whip. I think this song retains its catchiness as we move into the verses and the chorus as well, unlike the Rebooted one, which is why I like it slightly more. And I think this is a very mellow song. It doesn't have the same like rocky, energetic feel as some of the other whips, but it makes sense for like a digital season, and in fact Rebooted has a similar feel as well. So I think that bottom of A tier is a pretty solid ranking for this one. Next up, season 13, we have the Dungeon Whip, S tier. I don't know where I'm gonna put it in S tier exactly. I think I liked it more than the Ghost Whip, so I'm gonna leave it here for now. But I don't think I liked it more than the OG. This whip is epic, literally. Usually the weekend whips are energetic, but this one is intense, it's dramatic, and it is epic. I like how it starts off playing like a piano, and then just dramatically transitions into the drums. They slowed down the lyrics as well to add to like the intense feel, and when the trumpets play, it's just so good. This song is just so fun to listen to. It always gets my blood boiling, which is why I think S tier is a pretty fair ranking for this one. On to the last official whip. Here we have the crystallized whip, and I think this one is pretty good as well. The opening is really nice, and I love the lyrics being slowed down again. I think the initial verses sound really good, and the chorus is pretty decent as well. So I think I'm gonna probably put this probably below the Rift Whip, but I think A tier is definitely the right tier for this one. And the last quote-unquote whip that we have down here, this one didn't actually appear in an actual Ninjago season. It's called the Christmas Whip, which I legitimately did not know existed until today. Basically, it's just a combination of the Dungeon Whip and some Christmas carols. And right off the bat, that's kind of a bad idea because Christmas carols are usually lighthearted and the Dungeon Whip is the most intense weekend whip ever. So overall, this song just feels like a weird mishmash of two things that probably shouldn't have been mixed together. So for that, I think I'm going to put it in D tier. So this is every single Ninjago weekend whip ranked here. I will leave this tier list down in the description below so you can rank them as well. But in the comments, let me know what you agreed with, what you disagreed with. And other than that, I'll see you all in the next one.